Welcome class 6 for today's C.R.E. lesson. Now, yesterday we started looking at the topic Christian support for people with special needs. Now, we said or we mentioned some of the people who have special needs. If we can remind ourselves on some of them, it will be very good before we continue with our lesson. Yes, let's hear some of the people with special needs. Very good. We mentioned the blind. The blind are people with special needs. Another group of people with special needs. Yes, the ones who are lame or physically handicapped. That's a good one. Another group of people with special needs. Yes, those who are mentally handicapped. We also have other people such as the sick. They need our attention. They need our help. They need our assistance. We also have the orphans. The orphans are also there. You have the refugees. Very good. And also you have the people who are in prison, they need our special attention. Now, today we are going to start with one category of these people who have special needs, and those are the people referred to as visually impaired. Visually impaired. For any one of you who has ever come across the word visual, what does it mean? What does it mean? Yes, very good. The word visual means sight. The word visual means sight. Now, and when we are talking about sight, we are specifically referring to the use of our eyes. The use of our eyes. For us to see, we require our eyes. Therefore, for somebody who is visually impaired, what does that mean? One, this is a person who can either be totally blind. A person who's visually impaired can be described to as one who is either totally blind. That means this person cannot see at all. Cannot see at all. They cannot see at all. Number two, we have those who are partially blind. Partially blind. Yes, they have some use of their eyes. Maybe they can see, but not very clearly. They can see a little bit, but they cannot be able to tell the images clearly of what they are seeing. And some of them require special equipment such as the spectacles, very powerful spectacles for them to see. Then you also have, for example, the one-eyed people. Those also are people with special needs or who are visually impaired, and they require special equipment for them to use. Now, some of the reasons why somebody can be visually impaired include, very good, sickness, causes of visual impairment. I include one, sickness. One may suffer from certain diseases that may cause one to be visually impaired. Another one, very good. We have birth. Some people are born blind. They are born blind, and it is not their wish to be born like that. Another cause of blindness, another cause of visual impairment. Very good. We have injuries. Somebody may have gotten injured either through an accident, or maybe they were playing with their friends and they got injured, and that caused a visual impairment. So there are many causes or reasons why somebody may end up being visually impaired. Now, the government and the church, the government and the church have realized that these people who have challenges with their sight can be assisted in making their life more comfortable. And they have come up with institutions or schools whereby they can be assisted. For example, we have the Thicker School for the blind. Now, this is a school whereby the visually impaired are taught to live a meaningful life. And the Thicker School for the Blind is run by the Salvation Army. That is a church. The church that is the Salvation Army. Another school that is there is St. Lucy's. St. Lucy's Igonji. Igonji. That is in Meru. Now, St. Lucy's Igonji is run by the Catholic Church. And here, the people, individuals who are visually impaired are assisted to live a meaningful life. Number 3, we have another school we call Hitui Integrated Program. Hitui Integrated Program that is run by the Anglican Church of Kenya. So therefore, you realize that these are people who need assistance, and once they get the assistance they require, they can live a meaningful life. They are trained to do certain things, certain courses, certain work, using their hands to do certain things, like plaiting the hair, making mats, and making earrings. And from there on, they can live meaningful lives. Now, from the Bible, in the book of John, we read the story of Jesus meeting a blind man. Jesus met a blind man. So from the book of John, that is John chapter 9, verse 1 to 12, we read a story of a blind man. And Jesus. So when Jesus met this man, he was with his disciples. And his disciples asked him, why was this man blind? Jesus told them that it was for God's glory. It was for God's glory that this man was blind. So, Jesus being merciful to this man, what did he do? He spat on the ground and mixed his saliva with soil. And took the mixture, that is now the mud, and applied it on the man's eyes. From there on, Jesus told him to go and wash his face. He washed his face at the pool of Siloam. Now, this one means sent, because he was told go. Jesus sent him to wash his face at the pool of Siloam. And once he got there, once he did that, the man was able to see. So, what do we learn from this story? Jesus wants us to be kind and caring. He wants us to be kind and caring to those who are visually impaired. We should be kind and caring. So therefore, anytime we meet an individual who is visually impaired and requires our assistance, it is important that we help them do their tasks. So I hope you'll be able to practice that whenever you meet them. Otherwise, have a good time. We shall meet another time. Thank you.